All right. Angles. Here is an angle. Beautiful.
It's the fifth.
Today is the 5th. So the key term to know with an angle is this point right here, where the angle comes together, is called the vertex.
That sounds familiar.
Vertex, yes. And you've probably heard of another vertex, which you may or may not remember applying to parabolas. Exactly. All right. These would just be called the sides of the angle. Okay. And often, when you see an angle drawn just as an angle, these sides are going to have arrows. That arrow means that this line goes on forever in that direction. Right? So it keeps going forever over there, it keeps going forever up here. Which is going to be important to remember. So this angle does not end right here. It expands ever outwards into infinity. So let's say we have an angle that looks like this. We have the point A, point B, point C. We would name that angle by writing this little symbol here. Angle. It looks kind of like the greater than symbol if you were to take it and like squish it against the bottom of a page, right? And then we can label it by starting at any point over here, going to the vertex, and then going to another point on the other side. So starting on one side, going to the vertex, and then going to the second side. So in this case, we would call this angle A, B, C. I could also, just to kind of review what we talked about the other day, I could label this side as AB. And in geometry, if it's a line segment, you would put just a line above it. In this case, though, we put a little arrow. I think that's called a ray.
It is.
I should probably check. But when you have, it's like not a line segment because it goes on in one direction, but it's not a line because it doesn't go on in both directions. I think that's called a ray. So this would be ray BA, or side BA, or side AB. Actually, this should be BA. Because in this one, the direction is important, right? Because it's going on forever in this direction, not in that one. And then if we wanted to label this side, we would call that BC. Another way that you'll sometimes see angles labeled is with a little number or sometimes even a symbol. So if I put the number 1 in here, I could call this angle 1, which is a little simpler than having to say angle ABC. And then, finally, in this particular diagram, I could also call that just angle B, because B is only the vertex of one angle. So B is the vertex of only this particular angle, so I can just label that angle B. There are cases when you can't use this terminology because that point might be the vertex for multiple angles. Okay, so let's look at that. Can I erase this?
Yeah.
Can I erase this one? What if I start to see something more complex? I might have possible that there's some sort of convention for how you're supposed to label, like what order you're supposed to do these in, but I don't know it. So I'm just gonna name them sort of. Okay. So angle E here is the vertex for several different angles. And so in a diagram like this, you probably see something like this. 1, 2, 3. Let's try to name all of the angles that angle E is a vertex for in the easiest way possible. So who sees 1? Yeah.
Me?
Yes, Mira.
Angle A.
Okay. Angle AED. Oh, AEB you said? Okay. AEB, there's a simpler name for AEB.
One.
Yeah, we could just call that one angle 1, right? That's a little easier. What's another angle? Yeah.
Angle 2.
Angle 2. What's another one? Angle 3. Okay. What other angles do we have? Oh. Mike? AED. Angle AED is this angle, right? It includes 1, 2, and 3. It includes all of those. What's another one? Anna?
AEC.
Yeah. AEC includes both angle 1 and 2. Mike? Yeah. BED includes 2 and 3. BED. And then CED would be just the same as angle 3, right? All right. So there are 3 categories of angles. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. Acute, obtuse, and straight. Well, actually, there are 4 categories of angles, right? Because there's also right angles. Yeah. There are 4 categories of angles. Acute, obtuse, straight, and right. A straight angle is something like this, right? 180 degrees. So angle 1, which of these 4 categories does that fall into? Yeah, this is an acute angle. Angle 2, what would you guess that is? Yeah, it looks acute to me. Angle 3. It's a little hard to tell. Let's pretend that it's a right angle.
Oh, well, on mine it looks like.
On mine it's an obtuse.
Yeah, on mine it's like. We all do it differently, Nate.
Yeah. So if on yours it's different, that's fine. Just label it however it looks on yours. I think it's pretty close to a right angle. How about angle AED? Yeah, it's either obtuse. It may even be straight. It's possible.
It's not.
Let's say.
It's not
Okay.
straight.
Let's say obtuse.
On mine it's straight.
On mine it's
On mine it,
obtuse.
On this, let's say it's obtuse. I think it's slightly off from 180. It's probably like 175 or something. How about angle AEC?
If that one's straight,
that's a right.
then it's acute. If
Yeah.
that one's- if that
Why
one's-
does this one have to be acute if
Because
this is not straight?
If it's 90, then it would be a straight one, but so it has to be less than 90 because it's straight.
If this were a right angle, we would have 90 plus 90. This would have to be a straight angle, right?
Then angle
So
3
in
would
this case,
also
this
be
this must be acute.
Angle 3 would also be acute.
No, angle B.
No, because we can have 90 plus 88 or something, right? Or 85. So we could have 90 here, and then this one could be 85, which would be less than 90. But if we have 90 here and 90 here, then the whole thing has to be straight. And then how about angle BED? What is that?
Up to.
Yeah, that's definitely obtuse. What is the vertex of all of these angles? E is the vertex. And you notice when you write angles in this form, the vertex is always the middle point, right?
What if it was like?
The last thing I want to talk about is I'm going to have to add some more points. F, G, and then let's do it up here actually. H. Alright. So a point in relation to an angle can either be interior, meaning it's inside the angle, exterior, meaning it's outside the angle, or it can be on the angle. So point G in this diagram is exterior to all of these angles. You guys see what that means? It's not within any of the angles.
Where is G?
Point F, right here, is interior to everything except angle 1. It's in between. How about point H? What would be your guess for point H?
Oh, it's up.
Exterior. I think it's interior.
Why do you think it's interior?
Because the lines are infinite, so they keep going.
Yeah,
That looks
right?
like it's inside the
These
line.
keep going forever. So we would say that it's interior to angle 1. But not to any of the, well, angle 1 or angle AEC or angle AED.
Wait, so that would be interior?
So that would be interior.
How do you know if there's one that's on the angle? If
Yeah,
it's
so can you name a point that's on an angle?
B.
Yeah, point B, point A.
Would E be a point that's on the angle?
That's a good question. I don't know the correct answer. I think that E would be, we would just call that the vertex. If you were asked to name it in this way, you would say it is the vertex. But is a vertex on an angle? I don't know. I'll try to find out for you. So a point that's clearly on the angle is like point B or A or C. So it's actually on one of these sides of the angle. And in geometry, sometimes they say it's a member. It's like a member of this line segment or whatever. It's another term that you look for. Okay. I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover.
Okay, so if it's like interior to like two angles without the point, like it's still interior.
Well, you would have to say, like, the question would be, is point F interior to angle 1? And then you would say, no. Is point F interior to angle 2? Yes.
Could we start on the homework?
You guys have any questions?